Y'all said I wouldn't make it, but look at me now. 280 subscribers. Take that. It is with a very heavy heart that I have to announce some very bad news, but this video was a botch. I messed up big time, okay? I'm sorry. Anyway, this video is about how you can make hot hip-hop beats in Logic Pro X. You know, I've been using FL Studio forever, but I've been making some really cool stuff in Logic, and I wanted to show you, but some of the first few things I did, I didn't get recorded, but in the end, I still thought it was sick, so I wanted to show it to you. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go over how I built the beat, and you're going to see most of it, but the very beginning, I'm just going to start off by showing you some of the elements that I did first and how I made them. I didn't plan anything on the beat. I was just kind of going with the flow, and I think it's pretty sick. The first thing I did was I pulled up an instrument channel. And then if you just have a blank instrument channel, you can go into the library on the side. Instead of pulling up a plugin like you do in some DAWs, Logic has a bunch of sounds that are plugins and effects. And it sorts them out not by plugin, but just by the sound. So you could get a guitar sound or a piano sound, and maybe one's like from a synth, maybe one's from like a sampler. So it gives you a variety, but kind of you find what you're looking for. If you're looking for a guitar, you go to the guitar and you see all the different guitars. Anyway, I wanted kind of like a flute sound. That seems to be like what's hot in hip hop right now. I'm kind of old school, so I have trouble keeping up. All my stuff sounds like it's from 2016. So anyway, we're trying to make something cool. I pull up a couple flutes, but if you go to World and then you go to Woodwinds, this Indian Bansuri flute, am I saying that right? I hope I am. It's pretty sick. And I play something like this. Anyway, something like that, and then I make some drums. It sounds like this. That's basically nothing on the flute. It's just a preset, and then I use the 808 Flex drum kit. And you get to that drum kit by the same way you got to the flute. You go to electronic drum kits. 808 Flex is the top one. And then the cool thing is you can pop it open. So I mix some of these elements, and you can see the pattern I do. I just start recording one at a time. Do the hi-hats, quantize them, a snare, and then quantize those. And then I added in the kicks, and I added a few other percussive elements, added in this tambourine. You're going to really love this. I added in some hi-hats, and that was about it. And it made this beat, One layer at a time, that's all you need to do. And then I needed an 808 bass. You can this has an 808 bass in it, but I wanted to do it on a separate channel because I wanted to have different effects and I wanted to play it more melodically. So you can just drag it out and it just becomes its own thing. So that's what I did. I made a duplicate and dragged it out, and it's down here. But if it's stock, it sounds like this, which isn't very cool. I did some effects and it sounds like this now. This isn't like super sick, but it's a little bit more modern. It's shorter, it's more distorted, and with the kick, it sounds pretty good. So we got to here. And then that's where the next part of the video picks up. Now, the next thing is going to be another melodic element, and I think what it's going to be is some sort of like pad, and I want it to be pretty subtle. I want this beat to be really simple, but I want it to sound still rich and full. So what I want is a pad that's going to give it some warmth and some texture. Not even something that you're going to hear, more something that you're going to feel in the background, but it needs to be a really great sound, okay? So I'm not just going to get something to fill it in. I'm going to actually stick with what I was doing before. Let me do no plugin here. Oh, what I like is going into the synthesizer, classics. There's some cool stuff in here. Something like this though. Classic pad. That's kind of cool. All right, let's record that. Messed that up. I messed it up again. I botched one note in there. This guy. Take care. Let's quantize that. Can we? Can we quantize that? Good. Let's zoom out on here a little bit. Let's see what we got. Kind of sick. I want it to be a little warmer, so I'm going to go in and mess with some of this. This is some like preset EQ that comes on it when you pull it up from this library browser. It's already got some of those effects on there when you're pulling it up. So it's the ES2 synth, and there's a preset on here, but it's when you pull it up in this library that'll add some things like chorus and spreader and the delay, and it adds it in and kind of gets you going right off the jump. All right. So I'm not trying to get the bass. I'm trying to get the low mids though. Honestly, I'm really close as far as this video goes. I'm gonna get a bass pad so I can switch it up with this 808, and then I'm going to get another sort of instrument that can follow that flute melody, so it can kind of switch that up too. All right, so you'll see what I mean. Lengthen this up. I'm going to loop that beat, and then I'm going to loop that pad, and then I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to go into bass, something like this probably. That might be a little too like cheesy kind of 80s. Let's see how that sounds though. It is a little cheesy. What if I turn the EQ on that bad boy and just filter out the highs? And what if I actually quantize it? I'm gonna turn this down. Oh, and that's cold too. Like that's like a whole different vibe. And now let's get one more instrument, and then we're basically going to be done. New track with duplicate settings, and then I'm gonna go in and find some like cool little like classic sounding synth, and then I'm going to copy this down. These are kind of cool. These are kind of lame. All right, so what I'm going to do here is, since I don't want it sounding as natural as I did up on the top one, I'm going to actually just straight up quantize it. Since the last one was like a real instrument and I want it to sound like it was played, this I want to sound a little bit less like that. And that is not the sound I want. That's actually kind of sick. Am I happy with that? I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna come back to it. I'll come back to it. See if I can find anything better. Kind of like that too. Go back to this one. I like this one most though. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to arrange it. Essentially, I'm just going to chop all of these little bits and I'm going to put them in some sort of order, and I'm going to switch it up when, you know, I won't have both basses at the same time. I'll have one or the other, and I'll have the pad in sometimes and I won't, and then I'll have the whistle, and sometimes I'll have this synth melody, and we'll work it out, and it's going to be dope. All right, and the beat is done. And this isn't like finished, but it's I arranged it out for a minute It's a pretty straightforward beat, but it's enough that if I wanted to show it to a rapper and if he wanted to buy it, I could, pull it up in a session and I could loop it and then I go back and like actually work on the mix. But I don't want to work on the mix unless I'm going to do something with it yet. But it's decent enough that I can have it as part of my catalog. You thought you couldn't make Heat in Logic. You can. Absolutely. Logic is great for all sorts of music, including hip hop. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Let me know in the comments. I'm happy to answer questions or check it out or, just hear what you got to say. But appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time.